In a world where eggs are born from your body as a child that represent the person you want to be in the future, what exactly happens to those eggs when you grow up, regardless of whether your dreams come true or not? My name is Ayumi, and this is Maho Shoujo Manga Monday, the series where I introduce one of the many magical girl comics in serialization in Japan. Today is a very special one because this is the very first of the currently serialized sequels/reboots that we're getting into, Shugo Chara Jewel Joker, the sequel to Shugo Chara, the best that is currently in serialization. It actually is a legitimate sequel rather than just existing to pander to an audience while not really making sense plot-wise. For the purposes of this video, I did read up to volume 3 or chapter 12 of this series. There are more chapters than that still, which I am very much looking forward to reading. However, I don't want to spoil you on any of that content quite yet, because I want you to go and read the comics and I want you to anticipate and go buy the rest of the comics in your language of choice. So, I will say without spoilers that Volume 1 is going to set up the story very well, which we'll get to in a moment. Volume 2 introduces a lot of twisty twists that you think you know where it's going to, and then Volume 3 makes you really wonder what the heck is going on in a delightful way. I love being confused and tricked by writing, okay? That means the writing is good, because now I have to go reread everything again. Now, in case you are one of the Magical Girl fans who did not get around to checking out Shugo Chara, whether it's from reading the comic or watching the many seasons of the animated series, this is a late 2000s series about Amu Hinamori in a world where, again, children all have eggs inside their hearts that represent their dreams. And if you really very, very strongly want something as a child, that egg can come out of you to help you towards your dreams by manifesting. It's a literal manifestation, right? If it comes out of you, it's known as a guardian egg. But then that guardian egg, if it hatches, releases something known as a guardian character. And in Amu's case, our protagonist, she ends up with 3, later 4 characters, all based on these very, very strong desires due to her own confusion of not really understanding where she fits in the world and how she's perceived, and not really quite aligning with how she feels about herself, which is super understandable. I'm pretty sure that's like everybody. Cutting back to the present, Ama is now starting junior high school, but rather than going to Seiyo Academy's junior high school, she is getting transferred to the very elusive and mysterious and very closed off Arcana Academy. Luckily, she gets sent alongside Tadase, so she's not alone, and along the way, other friends of hers from back in the day also move in and join these dorms. So basically it gets very crowded with our favorite characters. This school is very interesting because it's a place where every student who enters the school must have a guardian egg at the start of their venture. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to hatch. It doesn't mean they're going to be able to do the character change or character transformation as we expect from the other characters in the series. Also, there's a chance to get additional eggs in these things known as the Arcana games. It's not just about the actual item itself, it's also the prestige. The gamifying of your literal dreams manifested really kind of affects how you see the egg. So it's a very strange and mysterious world. But Amma also has another secret mission, and that is to learn more about the Arcana Jewels, which are 4 very, very highly bejeweled items that represent the 4 houses of Arcana Academy: Heart, Diamond, Spade, and Clover. Sounds familiar? She also gets an upgrade because when she transforms in the presence of an Arcana Jewel, this actually changes her Humpty Lock and changes her transformation. So she becomes Amulet Jewel Heart, Amulet Jewel Clover, Amulet Jewel Spade. There's now a Phantom Thief also running around the school stealing or trying to steal these Arcana Jewels. Before we move on, let's talk about the 2 major new characters that exist in this sequel. The first one is a very interesting one because with Ikuto no longer having Yoru in his life, he's not technically a cat boy anymore, so we needed to make a new one. So meet Nia Miyatsuki. His name It's Nya. He and his guardian character, Michelangelo II, is a very interesting guy, and he's known for being a very pretty boy who also does a lot of live streaming. And he likes to use Amu and her friends, regardless of gender, as models. So that's a lot of fun. But he's also very, very flirtatious with Amu in a way that makes her a little uncomfortable. And it's enough for both Tadase to notice and also Ikuto to notice when he comes back later. Basically, we have a third potential love interest. It's kind of unclear. And yes, as far as the love triangle goes, she definitely canonically still likes both the boys. They're kind of a little antsy about each other, but they're not currently doing anything or trying anything. But I won't get into it here. If you know, you know. So the second major character is Amu's roommate or doormate at the start of the series, Kurumu Kokage. So she is very shy and has no real sense of self exactly. She basically doesn't really speak to anyone, and even with her communications with Amu, it was mostly through letters. They were never really in the room at the same time. So there's that. Every time they did interact, it was clearly very friendly and very lovely. She also ends up becoming friends, kind of, with Daya, Amu's fourth guardian character, who Arcana Academy doesn't actually know about. So Amu kind of hasn't been telling anyone about her. She does go through a lot of changes throughout the 3 volumes, and I'm not going to get into more about it here, but she's definitely a very interesting character that kind of is a reflection of Amu's own self, and is another character whose sense of self doesn't match the outside and all that stuff. Very, again, very normal kid stuff. So volume 1 of Shugo Chara Jewel Joker is available in English and at least 1 or 2 other languages, I'm pretty sure. So I implore you, please, because so few of these get translated, to go buy it right now. 2 and 3 are already out in Japan. I'm reading it for free on the Policy app, which is where I read most of my Nakayoshi comics. I am obsessed. This is a very good sequel. So that's all for today's Mahou Shoujo Manga Monday. Thanks for watching. If there's a comic you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know in the comments. What other sequels, for example, or reboots do you want me to talk about? I do not like all of them, but I will check them all out. And also, if you would like to support me in my reading of all the magical girl comics ever, then feel free to either look at my Mahou Shoujo Manga Monday wishlist over on my Throne page and pay for something there, or send me money directly via Ko-fi that I can use to rent chapters of comics if I can't access them otherwise. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, let's talk more magical girls. Alrighty, bye!